All right, all right. Hello, everyone. It's Aubrey Bursch with Easy School Marketing, and I am so excited to be here today with Tara from Design TLC because not only is she amazing at what she does with WordPress websites, but she's also the co-host of Mindful School Marketing, coming to you in April 2021. So let's hear a little bit more about what you do. And then we're going to dive into the pros and cons of WordPress, which I know you're all dying to know because we're all looking at our websites going, oh my goodness, what do we do? So please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more.
Thanks so much. So I'm Tara, and my agency is Design TLC, and we make WordPress websites for schools, mostly small schools. And WordPress is a great tool for small school websites specifically. There are a lot of great tools out there, and schools use a variety of different tools or a combination of them. You know, probably most well known is Final Site, which has its own software, its own proprietary platform, and it's a great solution. They have a huge staff. They offer a lot of things for schools, and it's a great fit for schools that have the budget for that type of support. But a lot of schools don't have that kind of budget and don't need to spend that much money on their website. And in that case, there are a lot of other options such as Wix or Squarespace or WordPress. And we use WordPress because it is very flexible, it's very affordable, and importantly, you own your data. So when you have your website on Wix or Squarespace, if there's something that you might want to do that you might think that would be great to have, if they don't offer it, you can't add it. So with WordPress, you can add anything that you want. You can have a developer custom code something for you, and we've done that. And there are all these plugins and add-ons that you can put in that will extend the functionality of your website. So it's very affordable, and we love working with it. There's a great community, a support community. So if you wanted to manage it yourself and you get into a Facebook group or something for WordPress people, there's so much support. I've been really involved in the community for over 10 years, and I've really kind of made a home there with WordPress developers and designers. And I can't say enough great things about what WordPress can do.
I am so excited because you and I often have the same type of client, like a small, medium-sized school, you know, and they have a limited budget and they keep looking at their old website and being like, oh, it's going to be too expensive to do the remodel. What do we do? Like, do we go with Squarespace and build it ourselves? Do we go with Final Site and pay more? Or, you know, do we go with WordPress? And so I'm so excited to hear you talk about WordPress, because when I see WordPress, I think the unlimited possibilities, right? It's like you can just build out exactly what you want. And I happen to not have a WordPress site. So I know exactly the frustrations of like, I just want this site to do this, and it won't because I'm stuck in this mold. So that is what I really love that. And I think for schools, especially like with all the different components you have with a school and the many possibilities of how you could build a site, WordPress seems to me to be one of the better choices. Now, I would say one of the questions I get so often is like, well, what do we do after it's built? Like, what do we do? So what do you tell your clients?
Yeah, so there are a couple of things about WordPress, and certainly you can build your own. If you are tech savvy, and even if you're not super tech savvy, there are themes and builders that you can use with WordPress. So you could even do it yourself, or you can hire someone like me, or a designer, somebody, developer who has more experience and can kind of either do it for you or guide you through the process. So there's an upfront cost that you may incur for that part of the project, for the design and development initially. And then with WordPress ongoing, there are some things that you need to know about, which is updating your plugins in your software on your site. Sort of like on your smartphone, you have to update your apps, and you get a little bubble that pops up that says you have 20 apps to update or something like that, depending on how many you have. On my phone, I have way more than 20, but but in WordPress, it's the same way. You have to keep those things updated, and you need to also back up your site and make sure that you keep a copy of it in case something bad happens and it breaks so that you can fix it. So you can hire someone to help you maintain it. You can also do that yourself too. So you can do it for very little cost. Ongoing cost, if you do your own maintenance and you host your site on a good host that that's the server that allows the website to appear for people. So that server may have a cost involved that could be anywhere from like $150 to $300 a year. And you may have some premium software that might be a couple of $100 a year. So you could get away with under $1,000 a year for ongoing maintenance for a WordPress site, which is way different from something like a Final Site. But Final Site and even Squarespace and Wix, because they control everything, they update stuff. So if they update something and it breaks, like let's say you have an old version of Squarespace and they do something and they decide that they're going to stop supporting that, you're stuck. Like you can't do anything about that. Whereas in WordPress, you really do have more control over what your data. And there are certain things on a school website that most school websites have in common, right? You need to have oftentimes events. So there is software that will allow you to easily add events to your site, sell tickets, get RSVPs for an open house. You can do that all within your website without needing any kind of Eventbrite or third-party type of thing. Contact forms, sign-up forms, even application forms can all be done within your website. And SEO is also something that WordPress does really, really well. And we love helping clients with that. I know you do a lot with clients online, with schools, with their online presence. And part of that is SEO, and that connects to things like Google My Business, which you and I talk about all the time. That's so important for schools, right? To have their online presence in Google My Business and other directory listings set up properly. And that also extends to how their website, the back end of their website from an SEO standpoint is set up, how Google is seeing the data on the website, what they know about your website. It's called schema. And so WordPress makes it really easy to do that out of the box. So because WordPress is built by the community, it's called open source. I tell people that means if you need something, if you need your website to do something, chances are somebody else has already needed that and they probably had it built. So you could Google, can WordPress do X? And usually there are answers. And as long as you pick something that's been tested and you know that has been vetted a bit, you can really get away with a super great functional website for a very affordable price, which is a great thing for a small school.
Exactly. Exactly. I love this so much. And I love that you touched on the SEO portion, because I've always heard through the grapevine that like that WordPress is like, if you want good SEO, like WordPress is the way to go, as long as you're setting it up properly, right? So I'm excited. Now, we'd love to have you on the Small School Leaders. We have an event coming up in May, and we'd love you to be there to talk about SEO, WordPress, and website. So thank you for this chat. Use it as a teaser, and everyone be sure to join us in May when we dive in. Now, where can people find you if they want to learn more about WordPress and what you do, your work you do with small schools?
Thanks. Yes. So designtlc.com is my website. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Tara Clays, that's Claeys, and on Instagram, DesignTLC for web. So I'll give you some links you can share in your notes here. But yeah, I'm all over the place. And Mindful School Marketing too.
Mindful School Marketing. So exciting. Thank you so much for being here today. And we look forward to having you at Small School Leaders. And of course, everyone will be listening to our podcast too. So it's like we'll be around for a long time.
I know people are going to get sick of us already.
I know. No, hopefully not. But thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.